When addressing issues of access to safe drinking water, what is the best way to help? You can install water pumps, like this one in Rwambu in southwest Uganda. It worked splendidly at first, but as water use in the area increased, the groundwater table receded and eventually the source depleted. Often, singular approaches like this one only provide a short-term solution. To really make water provision for livelihoods sustainable, an integrated approach is needed. An approach that takes causes and effects, such as agriculture, ecosystems, and hydrology in an area into account. We need to be thinking with the landscape. In the past, the people of Rwambu were able to use water resources without being concerned about renewal. Plenty of rain kept the soil fertile and recharged the groundwater and the wetland downhill. In turn, the wetland would purify the water and ensure a sustainable supply of clean drinking water downstream. But over time, the population grew, and so did the demand for land. Uphill, on the steeper slopes, communities began to remove the trees for the development of farms. In a very short period, the mountain slopes turned bald and were exposed to erosion. This caused the fertile soil to wash away with the rainwater. Downhill, the wells dried up. On top of it all, waste and sewage became trapped in a system that no longer purified, and the last available water in the wetland was contaminated, causing all kinds of water-related diseases. Without fertile soil uphill, the community began to encroach on the wetland downhill. As the wetland began to degrade, it lost its ability to filter waste and provide clean water. In 2011, the joint effort to save the environment, Wetlands International, Rain Foundation, and the people of Rwambu sat together to properly understand how this landscape worked. With support of the Dutch Wash Alliance, we devised a plan to bring back the water. After mapping out the landscape, identifying points of vulnerability and those of opportunity, we set the priorities to work on water resources management and ecosystem restoration. Together with local residents, we decided on the best interventions to improve water and soil quality while reducing water-related diseases. Through reforestation and terracing of mountain slopes, soil erosion was halted and groundwater sources began to recharge. As a result, crop yield dramatically increased. By leading surface water to collection pits, the water which would have been wasted now infiltrated the groundwater and recharged the shallow wells. Demarcation and zoning of the wetland guided and showed community members where to fetch water, feed cattle, catch fish, and harvest medicinal plants and reeds at optimal places in the wetland, thus preventing water contamination and overuse of available resources. It quickly became clear that these basic interventions led to the regeneration of the wetland, which we see in the reappearance of biodiversity and the ability for the wetland to once again purify water. To further support livelihoods in this area, the creation of sustainable income generation activities were promoted as alternatives to activities which previously worked against the landscape. For this community, the water returned. Even the old water pump is working again. Rwambu shows us how important it is to integrate development plans into the natural fabric of the landscape and to use the landscape as a guide to reduce the negative impacts on people and nature. We will be thinking with the landscape. Will you?